Welcome, everyone. In today's analysis, we are about to embark on a completely mind-bending exploration of something you experience every single second of your life, yet might totally misunderstand. We're talking about the fundamental nature of time.
Think about it for a second. Does time really pass? I mean, it certainly feels like it does, right? We feel the seconds ticking away, we feel the past slipping behind us into our memories, and the future just rushing straight toward us. It's honestly the most intuitive, everyday experience we have as humans. But today, we are going to completely dismantle that everyday assumption and look at what reality might actually be.
Okay, let's dive into this. Consider the most familiar measurement of passing time, a clock. We use it to map out our entire days, just ticking away the hours. It gives us this really profound sense of a continuous moving current. But what if that ticking is just an illusion we've created? What if time isn't actually what that clock implies at all?
To unpack this, here is our philosophical roadmap for today's explainer. Number 1, the familiar illusion time's river. 2, Presentism, nothing but now. 3, the growing block time theory. 4, Eternalism, the static universe. And finally, number 5, does time really pass?
Section 1, the familiar illusion, time's river.
So most of us naturally visualize time flowing continuously, kind of like a river. You're on a boat, the river carries you past the shores of your childhood, it pushes you through the present, and searches onward toward your future. But here is exactly where that flowing river metaphor completely breaks down. If time flows, does it have a speed? Think about how we measure the speed of literally anything else flowing, like water or a moving car. We measure it against time, right? Miles per hour, meters per second. So if time itself is moving, at what speed is it moving? 1 second per second? I mean, that's logically absurd. It's a completely circular statement that doesn't actually mean anything. This one simple question tells us that treating time as a flowing physical current might just be fundamentally flawed.
Section 2, Presentism, nothing but now. So the crucial point is, if the whole river metaphor is broken, what do we replace it with? Well, in the theory of presentism, only the present is real. The past and future simply do not exist. Imagine reality as a brief, super fleeting flash of light in a pitch-black room. Whatever is illuminated in that tiny microsecond of now is absolutely all there is. The year 1961? Entirely gone. Wiped from existence. The year 2050? Not here yet. There is literally nothing but the current moment. Now, that sounds pretty intuitive, right? But science actually has a massive problem with this theory, and it's beautifully summarized by the number 8. According to physics, it takes light from the sun approximately 8 minutes to reach us here on Earth. So when you look up at the sky, you aren't seeing the sun now, you're seeing the sun exactly as it existed 8 minutes ago. And this leads us to a profound universe-breaking question. If absolute simultaneity is an illusion, what exactly is the present? Albert Einstein's theory of relativity pretty much demolished the idea of a single universal clock ticking away for everyone, everywhere. If a star explodes millions of light years away, your now and that star's now are completely disconnected from each other. And if the universe doesn't share a single universal now, the entire foundation of presentism gets incredibly shaky. Whose present is actually the real one? Plus, presentism struggles heavily with our most basic understanding of truth. Think about major historical anchors: Julius Caesar's existence, the reality of World War II, Abraham Lincoln's assassination. If only the exact present moment is real, then these monumental historical events aren't real facts anymore, because the past literally holds no reality. But to claim that World War II isn't a part of reality completely conflicts with our deep, everyday sense that the past leaves a permanent mark on the present. We really need a theory that saves the past.
Section 3, the growing block time theory. The growing block theory is a really elegant attempt by philosophers to fix those glaring holes in presentism. It tries to save reality by bringing the past back into it, while keeping the future completely open. It basically argues that the past and present are real and fixed, while the future just doesn't exist yet. Imagine reality not as a quick flash of light, but as a giant solid block of existence. And as time happens, new layers are just constantly added on top. The block just keeps getting taller and thicker. And this brilliantly illustrates how the past is safely preserved underneath. Step 1, Julius Caesar crossing the Rubicon is an event that becomes deeply fixed near the bottom of our block. It's real, it's there, it's unquestionable. Step 2, the current moment, like you taking in this explainer right now, is simply being added as the very top layer. So the past is safe, and the present is just the leading edge of a growing reality. But honestly, even this theory struggles with the whole physics of relativity we talked about earlier. I mean, what defines that perfectly flat top layer if time is totally relative to the observer?
Section 4. Eternalism, the static universe.
Which forces us into arguably the most paradigm-shifting model of all, eternalism. This model completely abandons the idea of a flowing present or some growing top edge. In eternalism, the past, the present, and the future are all equally real, and they exist simultaneously in a giant static block universe. Reality isn't growing at all. It's a completed, permanent structure. The future is already there waiting, and the past literally never left. Think of time not as a movie playing out, but as a map or a landscape. In this block universe, the timeline is just a set of fixed coordinates. 1865, Abraham Lincoln's assassination. 1961, Barack Obama's birth. These events are fixed, equally real, permanent points in the block. The only relationship they have is that one is older than or newer than the other. It's exactly the same way New York is further east than Los Angeles. The events aren't passing at all. They just perfectly, permanently are. Now, what's really interesting about this slide is how we can directly contrast these two extreme opposite views of reality. Over on the left side, you've got presentism. You're just balancing on this tiny razor's edge of now, surrounded entirely by the void of nothingness. And on the right side, eternalism. Everything that has ever happened or ever will happen exists permanently. If eternalism is true, the dinosaurs are literally still out there, existing in their specific temporal location, every bit as real as you are right now. No way, right?
Section 5. Does time really pass?
Let's move to and see how this builds a completely new understanding for us. If eternalism actually holds the key here, then time might just be an organized sequence of events rather than a moving current. Time doesn't flow at all. Things are simply related by being before or after one another. And that incredibly powerful sensation you have of time passing? Well, that might just be the way our biological brains are forced to process a static, four-dimensional universe. We just experience it frame by frame, even though the whole reel of film already exists in its entirety.
And, depending on which of these massive paradigms we adopt, the ultimate shape of time itself changes drastically. If time is just a sequence, maybe it's an infinite straight line going on forever. Or perhaps it's a finite resource with a definitive start, like the Big Bang, and an eventual end. Some theories even suggest branching paths of alternative possibilities, creating multiple realities like a massive growing tree. Or, perhaps most incredibly, time could be a recurring circle, where the end of the universe feeds right back into the beginning in this one continuous loop. So, I want to leave you with this final, lingering thought to really deeply question your own moment-to-moment experience of reality. Is the flow of time just an illusion created by human perspective? The next time you look down at a watch or see a clock on the wall, ask yourself, is time actually passing you by, or are you simply moving your awareness through an eternal, unchanging block of existence? Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer. Keep questioning what you think you know.